Hello everybody, back again with another video. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all had a great day today. Hope y'all's week is going well so far. If it is, I definitely wish that it does continue to go well. On my end, I'm doing good. I actually just got home. It's like 9 o'clock at night. I had to do like 2 deliveries today. I drove about 584 miles. So yeah, I'm just getting back in, but pretty much when I got back to my apartments, it was pretty much dark. So yeah, pretty got back pretty late today, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all good in trucking. It is all good. So really, what I want to come on here and talk about is being materialistic. Why it's bad to be materialistic. And being materialistic is just I guess the way that I would put it is the overwhelming need to have stuff. You know, the latest and greatest everything. You know, just have to have that, you know, latest gadget or latest item that's being promoted all over the media. Just, and you'll go all out of your way to obtain that item, whether it's going into debt, you know, spending the last few dollars you have just to have the latest and greatest everything and show the world, you know, that look at me. I have this item. Materialism. Is that the word? Materialism? I'll just say being materialistic. Being materialistic, I actually have some points written down about it. Why it's actually not a good thing, and it's something that if you do find that you're materialistic, I would say, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself why you need all these things, and ask yourself, what would I do if I didn't have all these things? Would I still be as happy as I am now? Would I be not as happy? Would I be upset if I didn't have all these things? Just ask yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting, something new, sometimes, but I think sometimes we can go overboard, especially, here in America where there's just all types of stuff promoted in the media, that we can buy. So it's real easy to kind of get caught up in the whole like materialism, culture. And so my first point about being materialistic is that once you actually buy whatever item that you wanted, what you'll find is there's a point when you first buy it that you are really happy you have this item, and day by day that happiness goes down just little by little, and it gets to a point where it's like, okay, either you're content with having this item or you're sad about having this item because you found that you spent all this money on this item, and you found you really didn't need to spend all that money, and you would have been happier, you know, with the item that you had before. So you'll find that for a lot of stuff, if you're buying the latest and greatest everything, it's never enough. Stuff gets old. We get tired of looking at the same old thing, so we go out and buy the latest and greatest of whatever we want. Whether, let's just say, for example, a phone. There's some people that buy, new phones every 1 to 2 years, and what you'll find is you'll continuously go through that. You're gonna be like, okay, I bought this phone So my happiness level's up here, but day by day it's going down until you buy a new phone, and day by day it's going down. New phone, and you'll find that it's never enough. So it's like, why not keep the phone that you have for, you know, longer, instead of spending that extra money on a new one every year, you know? Like me, for example, I try to keep my phones for at least, I'd say, a minimum of 5 years. I mean, an iPhone can last you 5 years. Now, the battery level or the battery capacity might not be 100% after 5 years. It's probably going to be probably less than 80% at that point. But what you'll find is, once you get out of the mindset of wanting that latest and greatest thing, and let me also tell you why you might be thinking this way, because you might be consuming a lot of media that is telling you that, hey, you need this latest and greatest iPhone, when you really don't. You know, they release a new iPhone every year and act like it's going to be so much better than the ones before. And let me tell you, when they release a new iPhone, there isn't really a ton of new features that are not included on the previous year's iPhones. So at least that's what I found. So it's like, what's the point, you know? Now, I would say after 5 years, yeah, you probably would want to upgrade, but not every year. Not every year, you know? Really, not even every 2 years, but that's just me. I know there's some people that, you know, have to have the latest and greatest thing every 2 years, but I just, it's just one of these things where it's like, you have to really just ask yourself, do you really need this item? Do you really need this gadget? You know, these brand new shoes, that's another thing. These brand new clothes, the most high end apartment out there, just all types of stuff. You want to really have a talk with yourself and ask yourself, am I happier with these higher price items? Because the biggest result of materialism, or being materialistic, is the fact that, you know, now you're going into debt if you don't have the cash for it, or you're spending more of your money than you normally would. You know, you'd have a lot more money saved if you just were conservative about your spending in terms of buying new items, instead of, you know, just buying. You know, impulse buying, that goes along with being, you know, materialistic. So it's just, these are just questions that you want to ask yourself when it comes to this topic here. So another point I've written down is that let's see, it's being materialistic. Another reason we do it is because we like to, you know, show the world, you know, look at my new car, look at my new phone, look at my new shoes, look at my new clothes, look at, you know, if you're inviting guests over, look at my new, you know, 75-inch TV, just all types of stuff. And you have to ask yourself, do you really need that? Do you really need to pay all that money for that? Is it making you happy at the end of the day? Because let me tell you, after about, I'd say 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you're going to look at those shoes, you're going to look at those clothes, you're going to look at that TV and be like, did I really need that? And let me tell you, I used to, I don't know if I ever said this, I used to have car payments on a 2017 Toyota Corolla. And before that, I had like a 2008 Nissan. Forgot the model. What model? I think I had a '08 Versa or something like that, Nissan Versa. And it was old, and Now I kind of had to get rid of that car because it was giving me a lot of problems. I'm not gonna lie, but um, I upgraded to a 2017 Corolla, and I was all happy. My happiness level was up here and everything. Like, and this is so funny. Like, I'd say at the end of the first month, my happiness level was still up here, just a little bit less than when I first got that vehicle. Um, Month by month, slowly but surely, my happiness level with it went down. And it wasn't that the vehicle was giving me any problems or anything. It was just that I was making these 200 and I think it was $213 a month car payment on this vehicle that I know in my mind is going down in value anyway. So it's not like I'm building equity or anything like I would be in like a house or something. But I had this vehicle. I'm not even gonna lie. I was somebody that really was happy. I wanted to kind of show everybody, look, I made it. I have this newer vehicle. I'm a success. This is a symbol of my success. I worked hard to get this vehicle, even though I was making payments on it. You know, I worked hard, and I need a nicer vehicle. And after a year, I I um I sold it to CarMax. Um, didn't really care anymore. Didn't care to make the $213 a month car payment. Um, you know, just didn't care about it. Now it's funny. I bought that vehicle in February 2021, and that was back when stuff was pretty cheap. When I sold it in February of 2022, which was last year, I actually it actually went up in value, and so they wrote me a check for the difference between how much I owed on it and the actual value that they assessed it at. So I just used that check that they gave me to buy a cash car. The cash car I got was 2745, $2,745. It's an old car, and let me tell you, I've been happier with that vehicle than I was with the Corolla, the 2017 Corolla. Reason being is because even to this day, I always think about the fact that I don't even have to pay car payments on this vehicle. Yeah, cosmetically, it doesn't look as good. It's not as bright and shiny. Um, it doesn't have all the technology features like the touch screen and you know, it doesn't have none of that. It doesn't even have an auxiliary connection. But I think about the fact that I am saving money. I think about the fact that I could be paying $213 every month um for this car, for a newer car, but I don't. I pay zero in car payments because I bought the vehicle cash. And so it's just so important to really have that self reflection, self talk about, okay, do I really need this? Is it um is it does it financially make sense? Just you have to kind of talk to yourself about these, some of the spending that you're doing. I think it's very important in terms of just materialism, being materialistic, wanting the latest and greatest everything. And I think that story is pretty, like, relevant, because it does show that even me, somebody that I look at myself as somebody who doesn't really buy the latest and greatest everything. I'm a pretty cheap person. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not afraid to admit it. But even me, I got caught up in wanting the nicest car and the latest and greatest, vehicle. You know. So yeah. Um, let's see, because I have some points written down here. Another point I had written down was being materialistic does have a link to depression due to the items not satisfying um, inner voids or things that do cause unhappiness. So this goes into how sometimes we just buy things because we think it's gonna make us happy. We buy, stuff. There's a lot. Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of depressed millionaires that have all types of stuff. They got, nice cars, nice homes. They own different real estate. They own businesses and stuff. They make a lot of money. They buy a lot of stuff. They take vacations and everything. And they're still depressed. I forgot the percentage, but I was looking it up. Like, there's a lot of people that make a lot of money that are still depressed. So it goes to show that buying things, you know, still does not fill that void. And you have to really just look in the mirror when it comes to like depression and just inner sadness. You have to tell yourself, okay, will buying this item relieve this sadness or this depression? And a lot of times it doesn't. um, so yeah, there's something there. There's something that's causing you to be sad. There's something causing you to be, to have the idea that, okay, buying this item is gonna make me happy. It just doesn't do it a lot of times. Really, what it causes is just an initial burst of happiness. And like I was saying, day by day, month by month, it slowly goes down. And when you're unhappy, when you're sad, and that you're buying an item that you think is gonna make you happy, you find that over time that item makes you less and less happy, thus bringing out this feelings of sadness and depression from whatever is causing you to be sad in the first place. So whether it's a void or just there's something there that buying this latest and greatest item is not going to solve. you know let's see another point that I've written down. I also wrote down that a lot of people have buyer's remorse due to various reasons, and one big one is that you realize that you bought whatever you bought for a silly reason, or you never really needed the item. And one of the biggest silly reasons that I've seen for buying an item is to show off to friends, family. Look at me, I got this. But when you're all alone and you're just reflecting over your choice to buy that item, you didn't need that. You bought it to, show off. Or if it's not showing off, you bought it to, you know, make yourself happy, or feel like, hey, it's a sense of accomplishment buying this item. Look, I can finally afford this. I'm going to buy it. Day by day, the level of happiness is going to go down. That's why you have to really, especially for big purchases like cars, and that's why I only buy cash cars. I don't do the car payment thing. I'll never have a car payment again, because I just realized, especially with these car commercials and stuff, they make you feel like you're missing out if you're not driving this nice car that's probably overpriced anyway. Um, and that's actually going into another point that I have written down. Advertisements, media makes it seem like you're missing out, and that's what can cause, materialism as well. Is It make it seem like you're missing out when you don't buy this item. Um, there's a lot of stuff that we don't need that's promoted on TV, and it's not only TV that it's promoted on. It's promoted subliminally through movies. They'll have like a certain product placed in a movie, or they'll have the star um, actor in the movie wearing a certain type of clothing item or some certain shoe, or they'll be driving this really nice car. That's subliminal advertising. That's subliminally, and they know that because um, that taps into the part of us that is materialistic. They know having that product placed in the movie is gonna boost their sales. It's gonna make people just want to buy it just because they saw it in the movie. You know, there's statistics on this. When there's a specific product placed in a movie, or some TV show or some sort of media, um, their sales tend to go up. People want to buy what they see on TV. People want to buy what they see in movies. You know, Also, materialism and being materialistic, that is also promoted through these celebrities wearing a certain fashion item, wearing certain shoes, and we see that you know via we also see that via celebrities like putting their name on a certain product, like a t-shirt, or who's that had like a t-shirt or something? It was one of these celebrities where they were charging like hundreds of dollars for like a t-shirt or something. It was crazy, but and their sales are pretty high for that. A t-shirt, hundreds of dollars. Shoes, and that even shoes, you shouldn't pay no $200 and $300 for shoes. You know, the Jordan brand, you know, just his name being placed on shoes is gonna boost the sale of those shoes. And the shoes are, $200, $150. Now, do you need those shoes? No, but due to materialism, we we want those shoes anyway. We want to show off to our friends and family. Look at my new J's. We want to um, have this sense of self pride that is connected to those shoes. We want to, it's just a lot of there's a lot of reasons why we are the way we are when it comes to like materialism, and we have to just think about that. We have to think about why we're doing this in the first place, you see. And so, you know it's just kind of sad, just how stuff is promoted and how we kind of buy into this idea that we need this expensive stuff. We need this, you know. And I'm not saying don't ever buy something nice. I'm not saying that, but when everything is super high end, and especially if you're buying it with debt, credit cards, or you're spending your whole paycheck on something. Now, if you got tons of money like that, okay, hey. But I'm just saying, for somebody to go into debt to buy some shoes, to use their credit card to buy some clothing items, it's just unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And by the way, with a credit card, you're paying tons of interest. You know, when you buy shoes with a credit card, or you know some appliance or something with a credit card, oh, the credit cards love you because they're going to be making all types of interest off of you. That's also something you should think about as well. Don't let the credit card companies make all that interest off of you buying something that you really didn't need to buy in the first place. Think about that when you're doing your self-talk, self-reflection on whether you want to buy this high price item. I just think that it's just not necessary. And please, credit cards. I've got to do a video on credit cards as well. I may do a video on that coming up soon, but let's see, what else do I have on here? Did I go over everything? Oh, well, there's something else I have. I think this is the last one I have on here. So it also makes you, when you're really like materialistic, it makes you even more dependent on your job slash your, income source. So, you want to get it to where you're not just completely, heavily dependent on your like job or income. Like obviously you have to depend on it to a certain degree, but I mean, you don't want to be spending a huge chunk of your job, the money that you make from working your job or whatever income source you have, on just things you don't need, because that's money you're losing that you could be putting towards saving, investing, retiring. I mean, you might want to retire early. You have to really be frugal if you want to retire early. Or if you want to retire at 60 or 55 or whatever, you have to really look at being, as frugal as you can. And there's an ambulance siren. I hope y'all can't hear it. I don't think the microphone is picking that up though. Okay, but yeah, you have to think about okay, this is making me more and more dependent on this job than I need to be, because now, in order to sustain that lifestyle of having, all types of different material items, now I'm more dependent on this job that I have. I'm more dependent on this income source. That's just something that you have to think about too. When you're thinking of buying all these things you don't need, the latest and greatest shoes, the latest and greatest clothes, the brand new, what do they sell nowadays? I think they sell 85-inch TVs nowadays. It's just not necessary. But I know there's gonna be some people out there that say, hey, well, I earned the money, I can buy what I want to buy. Well, look, you definitely can, but I kind of make this video to kind of think, I make this video so that you can kind of think about, these things before you do it. Now, if you want to go out and buy you buy what you want to buy, but I think I make this video to let you know a different angle in terms of just all this stuff that's available to buy out here. Do you really need it? What reason do you want it for? Is it going to help you in life? Is it going to make you happy? Think about your happiness level. I go back to that. Is your happiness level going to stay the same? Most likely it's not. And that's one of the biggest reasons why it's not good to be materialistic. It's actually that happiness level. It's going to go down. It's going to go down, So, being materialistic, I don't think it's a good thing. It's in terms of saving money, it's bad. It's bad in terms of, it's hard to save money. It's hard to save money when you're worried about the latest and greatest product. you know. So we are coming up on 30 minutes here, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do hope that you are relaxed by this video. I also hope that it sparked a thought into you. Think about what you're buying. You know, I want you all to think about that as well. You know, these are ASMR videos, but you know, sometimes I like to make videos like this just to spark a thought into you. You know, I want to just think about things from a different angle. But I think that's everything I have on materialism and being materialistic. So yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I think I ought to have some uploaded tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna be off tomorrow, so I'll probably have something uploaded tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But with that, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a great evening.